A little bit different morning to yesterday, isn't it? It's a bit dark and broody. I wonder what sort of tour we're going to have today.
Hi there, I'm Lynn and I just love exploring. So why don't you come with me and let's see what we can explore together. Everything from Sydney to regional New South Wales, and next year we'll be heading overseas. So come on and join me and let's see what we can find. Let's go.
All right, so as you can see, it's a little bit dark today. It has rained. At the moment, I'm hoping it's not going to rain. I've got my umbrella with me. But we're standing here at Warriewood at this lookout point. So we've got this, here we go, look. There's a seat here. It's a bit dark, might be hard to see. It's a bit dark there. And we're across the road from a little group of shops. There's a cafe over there. I don't think it's open yet. Hopefully by the time I finish and come back to my car, it'll be open. All right, so this is what the sea at Warriewood looks like this morning. That light down there on the sand is coming from the street lights at the car park down there. And I'm hoping the sky's going to brighten a little bit before we get started walking. So I might just stand here and we'll watch it for a little while, see what the sky does. So the forecast for today is something like 50% rain. I can see that there's one car down there at the car park. There we go, there's a car down there in the car park. Ominous, yes, you're not wrong. I'm a little bit nervous. It is a lovely pink glow though, isn't it? Really. It's lovely in a different way. It does. It's not really stormy. It has rained, and the forecast is for 50% rain today. So I'm really just hoping that we're lucky and it's going to hold off for at least the next hour. That's what we're all hoping for this morning. I've got one bar, so how frustrating. Let's hope this signal picks up. I tell you what, I did so much walking yesterday. Look how dark it is over in this direction, over to the south. Did so much walking yesterday. I did the 2 tours, and then I tested a third, which is this one. And my legs ache today. Oh. Barry and Susan, hi. Yes, Becca, it's Friday morning. It is just coming up to 6 a.m. It was those stairs. Yeah, there was stairs. There was the stairs on the first tour. There was all the steps around the Stony Range Park. And then there were more stairs on this one. You'll see this is actually a tougher tour than the one we did yesterday morning, in a different way. So I'm going to need the power of the group to keep us moving forward and upward, onward and upward, as they say. Good morning, everyone. Listen to these birds. I have no idea what those birds are. Yeah, they're really interesting, aren't they? They're very vocal. It's a nice little wave coming in there. I don't see anyone out on boards this morning. I don't know what the forecast is for the swell. Good morning, everybody. For those who haven't met me before, my name's Lynn, and we are standing overlooking Warriewood Beach, which is a suburb of Sydney. We're around about, I think it's 16 or 17 kilometres north of the city centre. And before we begin, I'd just like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional lands of the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. And let's turn the camera around and get going. Alrighty. So we're going to see more of this view as we walk. And I need to be a little bit careful because there's going to be some slippery parts as it's rained. It rained last night. You can see the road's a little bit wet. There are some early morning walkers out and about. Okay, so there's the ocean over there on my left. I'll keep it focused on the ocean. I've opted against walking down the stairs. We're going to have plenty of stairs. We're going to walk down the roadway, which that in itself is a little bit treacherous. But we'll see how we go. All right, it's a really pink glow out there. It's totally different to yesterday, isn't it? So you can see here that we're about to head down to Warriewood Beach. It's an unfortunate reflection on it. Well, you're allowed to park for 12 hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for a price. I think it's $8 an hour. Good morning, Sharon. All right, so we've got some traffic coming down to the beach. I'm obviously going to come down and check out what the surf's like. Let's have a look across. Have a little look at across at the surf here. That's Warriewood Beach. It is really beautiful. It's beautiful in a different way. I actually think that that's pretty great that we saw the two moods yesterday and today. Yesterday was just a beautiful sunrise, and today we've got that ominous threat of the weather, what it might do. Okay, I know that the signal is going to be a little bit up and down for the first part of this as we climb up the headland. To begin with, it's going to be up and down a bit. But once we get on top of the headland, it'll even out and it'll be reliable. So if I lose you, I will be doing everything in my power to get you back. Never fear. All right, so in fact, it might actually be easier. I know that track is a bit slippery. We'll go down this way. There's a lot of people down at the beach this morning. Let's see. There's about, oh gosh, at least 10 cars down there this morning. Wonder what they're all up to. So this is Warriewood Surf Club. I think this just means be careful because it's very narrow. There could be traffic coming up and it's quite steep. It's back again. Oh, thank you for letting me know, Andre. I was starting to panic. All right, let's pause for a moment and take a look here before we head back up the hill. There's one fellow heading out for an early morning surf. Not a bad lifestyle, hey. Imagine if you've got a business around here. Oh, there's some going in off the rocks over there as well. Just saw a board launch himself in over there. So at the moment I can see 3 board riders. It's 1, 2, and there's a third one just over there. Let's wait and see if any of them get on a wave before we head up the hill. Okay, have I got all 3 of them in frame? Hoping one of them is going to get on a wave before we get going. Someone should get something, come on. He didn't quite make that. Nope. Oh, come on, guys. You could have got that one. I've got to give you one little ride, don't I? I have to offer you at least one board rider before we move on. Here we go. Here's one trying, I think. Is he going to go? Oh, he pulled out. Come on, guys. Give us something. Aha. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There you go. There, we've all been for an early morning surf. There you go, guys. Okay, onward and upward. It's a popular surf spot. It doesn't look like a very big swell today to me, but I'm no expert. Here we go. This is what you're going to help me with. Look, we're going up, 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 and I might lose the signal. But once we get to the top, it'll be back. Okay, let's turn around for a little last look from here. So there we go. Three surfers just sort of hanging about in the morning, having a bit of a chat. And Sandy, your question was about the temperature. It's 12 degrees right now. Very soggy path. We're going to get some fabulous views along this path, but it's definitely not an easy path. Okay, this is our first tricky bit. We're climbing over a fence. We're going to be very careful. Don't worry, I always do things safely. There is a reason why I'm coming over here. Anyone who was on my tour yesterday probably saw a link that I dropped into the chat because I thought I was going to make it all the way around to Warriewood yesterday. And I should have done it this morning, but I completely forgot. It was a link to swimming through the blowhole, the Warriewood blowhole. And if you're going to do that, this is one of the ways that you would get there. You would actually climb down here and around these rocks, and it's just around that bend. Oh, thanks, Monique. That's the same link as yesterday, is it? Perfect, thank you. And we're going to try and look down onto the blowhole, and then we're going to find another vantage point to look back onto it. Let me just zoom in a little bit. But just for reference, it's just around that little point there. How's the sun doing? The sun's going to not make a show this morning, I think. Oh, perfect. Thanks for that. So if you want to take a look at that, did you watch it? Hi, Louise. What did you think, Monique? Something you might attempt yourself? Okay. Specifically Warriewood or just something similar, Monique? There we go. So what we're looking at there is Warriewood Beach, and then over to the right of that is Mona Vale Beach. And there's another smaller beach called the Basin, just alongside Mona Vale. So we can't quite see all the way up the coast today because of the cloud cover. Hi, Lisa. and waiting for the sun to make a show. Yeah, I probably would have you too. I've actually climbed Narrabeen Headland from the pool up to the top of the headland when I was, I want to say 16, I think. How's our signal going? We're up to 2. I think it's going to come back pretty soon. From there on, we should have 5 bars all the way. So that's a pretty cool spot to live. Imagine living in that house there. We're going to see a few of these seats as we move around Turrimetta Head. And this one is dedicated to John Maudson, who is described as a kind and gentle man. For those who don't go away, they walk beside us every day, forever in our hearts. That's a rather nice tribute, isn't it? Sadly, a couple of the seats that we'll see are to much younger people who have taken on a little too much risk around the Warriewood blowhole area. So there's one point on this trail where we actually leave the track, and I'll be able to show you virtually a 270-degree view from North Narrabeen Beach around to Warriewood Beach. Just hoping the track's not too muddy when we get to there. So the vegetation that we're seeing here at the moment, things like this tea tree, lots of wattle coming out at the moment, and Australian native or coastal rosemary is this one here. At this point here we get very close to the road, and you can see some of the gorgeous houses across the road here in relation to where they live and what their view is, which is just here. So I'm going to have another look out towards the blowhole. Again, the grass is very slippery, so I need to be very careful. At this point here, we can look again back towards Warriewood Beach. Something has been having a little dig. All our wildlife, if you probably know, is nocturnal, so something has had a bit of a dig there. Oh, we're not at the top yet, Sandy. I've got lots more steps to go. Okay, so we're going to go around to a point where we're standing above the blowhole, which is just around that point there. Yeah, that's all right. I still have you all with me, so that's all I need to keep me going, spur me on. Yes, and we see lots of signs like this all the way along the path. So Turrimetta is an Indigenous word, which anecdotally, apparently it's not confirmed because there's not very many local Indigenous people still in this area. Most of them were moved on after colonisation. It apparently means a beautiful place. Oh. Yes, well, the alternative, of course, Sandy, is that I get someone else to film it and just sit at home and describe what I'm seeing. But then you wouldn't get to hear all my huffing and puffing. Jane, I think once we get up this last set of stairs, everything should smooth out. I'm really sorry about the picture quality. We're sitting at 2 bars at the moment. This is a little bit sad. This is a shrine. It's a shrine to somebody. There's a skateboard here with pictures. What does it say? To one of the loveliest people to grace this earth, whose kindness and smile touch so many. We all miss you every minute, every day. Love from Hayley, Mum and Dad. And he was 19, going by those dates. So, yeah, a very real reminder of the dangers of this particular spot. And this looks like another one. I can't read that. But yes, we have, looks like 2 shrines here. It was Monique that posted a link earlier in the chat to a video of the blowhole where young men like to jump off and swim through a cave. But if you do it at the wrong time, it's extremely dangerous. This one drowned in the surf. So, you know, the surf is a very beautiful and very dangerous thing. So we can kind of see, if I look over, this is the closest we can actually get to it. This is the point, this is the rock platform where they go in from. So they'll actually climb down there and cross that rock platform to get to the blowhole, which Monique has just has just posted the link to again. It's an exciting and beautiful location, but it very definitely comes with its dangers. Oh, good morning, Bluey. I don't know that's his name, but it's a blue cattle dog. Does anyone know the show, the children's show Bluey? Very popular. Well, I said we're heading into a wildlife reserve, and this is just letting you know some of the bird species that could be found here. Dogs have to be on a leash. Good morning. Just letting those people pass before I go up the stairs. In actual fact, oops. How's that sun going? We're keeping an eye on it. Now it looks like, as I said, looks like it's a no-show today, which is a bit sad. But stay with me, guys. Even without the sun, it's a very beautiful place. There were rainbow lorikeets announcing themselves very loudly. All right, more stairs. Just got to change hands. 1 second. Right, there we go. Here we see more of the wattle that's out right now. apparently on any given day, somewhere in Australia, there'll be a wattle in bloom somewhere. And while I'm here, this is something you may not have seen before. This is actually an Australian native violet, which looks almost identical to the violets we're familiar with, except that it's got that little white bit. There's mozzies hanging around me. Go away, mozzies. All right, more stairs. Believe me, I'm going to be huffing and puffing by the time we get to the top of these. But our signal should be back. So, celebrate the wins, yeah? So they describe this sort of terrain as coastal heath. It's predominantly casuarina trees or she oak trees around this area. And their seed pods are loved by the cockatoos. Oh. All right, everyone. Your quads are starting to feel it by now, okay? Just letting you know. So remember to do those stretches afterwards. Because I know you're all climbing with me, right? Whew. Okay. Do not enter. So this is described as an endangered species of grass. And there's a fine. A maximum fine of $220,000 and or 2 years in jail apply to any person who harms this community. That's a bit of a deterrent, isn't it? Hopefully that should keep them out. At this point here, we start to see a glimpse of the southern beaches, and we'll see more of those in a moment. So stay with me, guys. I noticed the signal still hasn't come back fully, which I'm disappointed about. So I was getting 5 bars up here yesterday. What's the picture quality like? Oh, thanks, Susan. And you can see it's quite muddy. So I'll be watching more of the path than of the chat. Drink water. Yep, I do. I had a big drink before I started out, and I'll have a big drink when I get back. I'm sort of clinging to the edge of the path here, where hopefully it's a little less slippery and muddy. That's it's a native pigeon. There we go. He stood still for us. Okay. There. It's nice to get some wildlife on your tours. Thank you for that, Monique. All right, so this is looking back towards the Narrabeen pool. I'm so disappointed about the signal. I really am, Jane. I'm so sorry. Yesterday it was 5 stars all the way. There's the North Narrabeen pool, if you can see it. That's where we were yesterday. And I'm going to get a bit of a clearer picture of that in a moment. I can't understand why the signal is so different today from yesterday. The only difference is a bit of cloud. Here's another wattle. Okay, this is where we're going to take off and leave the main path. This is the exciting bit, guys. Just around this bend. Here we go. So I stood here yesterday after doing all those steps and I went, okay, this is a nice view. Do I really need to go any further? And it is. It's a lovely view. Let me zoom in on it for you. Okay, just down a bit. So that's Turrimetta Beach. That's the beach we walked down onto yesterday. And to the left of that is the North Narrabeen rock pool. So where we're going right now is I stood here and I went, ooh, where does that go? So let's go see. We're going on an adventure, guys. This is the exciting bit. And I promise it's worth hanging in there for. I just hope my signal comes back. Come on, come on, come on. We are literally bush bashing at this point. No, we're not. There's a trail. Don't be over dramatic. But it's a very narrow outcrop. Got to walk between the branches of this tree. And down on our left, we have the sea and the rock platform down there. Sandy, I'm only in the Northern Beaches for 3 days. We're doing renovations and our floors are being sanded. I'm normally in the Blue Mountains. I'm staying at my mother's house. I'm actually going back home tomorrow. But if I'm ever down here this way again, I will certainly do the Wildflower Reserve again. And yesterday's one was even more spectacular than I was even expecting. So they're always favourites. Okay, this is how close we are, but we're well back. So just to reassure everybody, I'm safe. Now, there'll be a better spot to view it from, but that's the entrance to the blowhole, right about there. Let me see if I can... Right. Oh, thank you, beaches. Okay, we're going to lean out a little bit, but again, I'll reassure you I've got this very, very spiky plant between me and the edge. So I'm not going anywhere. So I just want to get into a position where I can zoom in on the entrance to the blowhole. Maybe if I turn like that, and then okay, do you get the idea? So there's kind of a cave down there, and these young guys will swim through the cave. Not at this time of day, it's high tide right now. Obviously you do this at low tide. A little bit further around we'll actually be able to see it even clearer. So let's keep going a little way. Okay, this spot here might do it. It's a pretty postcard perhaps if you like these sort of rustic shots. Okay, again, I'm not going to go any further than that tree root there. All right, just letting you know that I'm quite safe. But this is a brilliant spot to see. Here we go. Yeah, again, that's why I posted that video, Andre, because it gives you a really clear idea of what the headroom is and what they're dealing with. I would want a calm sea and a low tide, that's for sure. They climb down the cliff to go down to that rock platform and swim through the cave. Yes, that's what they do. Feels a bit like it should be a Red Bull event or something, doesn't it? All right, we're going to go a little bit further on so that we can look down on the southern view. So a little bit further on along this trail, I think, sorry, I think it's like a U-shaped cave. So it goes in one side and out the other. But again, I'm not absolutely certain. It's only from what I can gather from looking at that video. So here we are looking over at the southern beaches, Turrimetta and North Narrabeen, and then over to the left there, the long stretch that includes all the Narrabeens and Collaroy. So we've got North Narrabeen, Narrabeen, South Narrabeen and Collaroy. And then to the left of that, which is just out of shot, is Longreef Headland, tucked away behind that tree there. And one last look out over the north side before we head back. We're going to head very close to Turrimetta Beach. So you can kind of get an idea of how the water sucks in into that area there. Mad, I tell you, mad. What do you think, Monique? Would you have done it? It looks treacherous from here. Maybe I'd think differently when I was 20. All right, it's coming up to 45 minutes, and I was planning to take you over to Turrimetta Beach, so if I'm going to do that, I better get going. Yeah, I feel the same way, Monique. It probably does look very different at low tide. Let's head back along this trail and towards Turrimetta. We're actually on Turrimetta Head. We're going to head towards Turrimetta Beach. It's a very pretty spot, just overlooking that beach, and I reckon we can get there, I'm going to say 10 minutes. For anyone who's able to hang on just a little bit longer until I get back over there. I used to chicken out on the diving board, Nick. So you might have had more courage than I did. Yeah, I'd say so. I think I've seen about 4 in my lifetime, 2 of them in the Blue Mountains. And that's in a period of over 20 years. My friend and I were walking along the track around the other side of Wentworth Falls Lake one day and saw one just sitting across the path, and she totally freaked. I'm a little bit more circumspect about snakes and their place in the greater scheme of things. Oh, nearly went. Okay, so we're back on the main track. We're going to go down steps again for a little way, and then the path will level out. And I still have my fingers very much crossed, as I'm sure you all do, that our signal's going to improve. And all I can do is apologise, because I did the whole track, the full length of it yesterday, and it was perfect, apart from that first set of stairs. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate that. I really do. Okay. Not many dog walkers today. They're actually not supposed to be here. We saw that sign. So there's only a couple that are, at least they have them on a leash though. Okay, so at this point here, the track starts to level out and you can see this is what the headland looks like. This is the vegetation along the edge of the headland. We're hearing some birds, hearing small birds around here. They're not making themselves known to me. They're not making themselves visible. And look at the sky. Yeah, the sun was definitely a no-show this morning, wasn't it? You can see it's blue sky up above. Look at that. The sunrise was 20 minutes ago. So I went out to dinner last night with my brother and his wife and my mum and dad because they all live local. I don't. So probably took out a World Surf title or two as well. Oh, have you seen them, Rhonda? You might have seen some of his bird photos that I shared on my long reef tour when he's has idle moments and there are birds nearby. He gets in really close with his camera. He's got some fantastic photos of things like osprey and kestrels and the like. All right, we're still going to try and make it to the top of Turrimetta Beach. If you're happy to stay with me, as I said, I know I've gone over time. We have 3 bars. I've gone into the green. This is exciting. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. Maybe I should just go back and stay there on that little lookout. Almost there, not far now. I think it's your surf, but I think it's your dot surf. Good morning, Louise. Louise, I've been meaning to say, and I keep forgetting, Louise is our New Zealand guide. Pop your channel into the chat for me and let everyone know what your Haygo channel is. No problem. You're lucky I'm still here because I've gone over time. So here again is the North Narrabeen Headland and North Narrabeen Pool from the other side to where we saw it the other day. Pop your channel in, Louise. There we go. So that's Turrimetta Beach. And we're about to pop out and to a spot where we overlook it in just a few minutes. There we go. That's Louise's channel, and she does terrific tours in New Zealand. Usually around Wellington. Is that right, Louise? The Windy City. So you can see what I'm dealing with. I'm sort of walking with my legs astride. Oh, Auckland. There we go. That's right. You did the Sky Tower. That was pretty impressive. Louise, I've done this entire tour on 1 and 2 bars after testing yesterday, and it was 5 bars. I'm sure that's happened to you before too, right? Ah, yes, of course, you broke your wrist. Something we all have to be a bit careful of as our muscle tone decreases and our sense of balance reduces. All right, here we are, top of Turrimetta Beach. I'll come down just a little bit closer to overlook the surf. Really good question, Alicia. I cannot find where the name Warriewood comes from. I cannot find a surname, an early settler. I don't know where that name came from at all. Turrimetta means a beautiful place, apparently, anecdotally, in the local Indigenous language. And when I grew up at Narrabeen, I should have looked it up again. When I grew up at Narrabeen, there used to be a milk bar in Waterloo Street, which was just off the main street. And it had a big black swan painted on the wall. You can imagine this 1960s milk bar. And the claim was that Narrabeen meant black swan. Now, I don't know how true that is. I need to double check. I'll do that for tomorrow morning because I'm doing the Narrabeen Lagoon walk tomorrow morning. And oh, good morning. Do you have a human friend? All right, so I'll find out where Narrabeen comes from tomorrow morning in time for my Narrabeen Lake tour. Okay, so that'll be sunrise at Narrabeen Lake, or it'll be break of day. Let's not promise sunrises that don't happen. And again, we still can't see the sun. Yeah, thanks for your help there, son. All right, everybody. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me. I'm so sorry the signal was poor. I'm sorry I couldn't give you a sunrise. I hope that the compensation was the beautiful scenery. And yes, we might have rain today. So anyone who's joining me at the Ku-ring-gai Wildflower Reserve, there he goes. Anyone who's joining me at the Ku-ring-gai Wildflower Reserve later on this morning. Oh, this one's a little bit slower. You must be older brother, yes. Let's turn this around. Oh, hello. I'm being welcomed. All right. So thanks again, everybody. And hopefully I'll see you either on a later tour today or at Narrabeen Lagoon tomorrow morning. Bye for now. Let's just do one last pass. Such a pretty shot. Oh, look, here we go. I should have had that in frame, shouldn't I, when those two came bounding up the stairs. Whoops. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.